welcome to another Statesman Series episode of Stories from a Bar. I'm your host, Chris Osborne, and for this episode, I'm once again joined by the host of Videogame Crosstalk, the infamous podcast. I ran out of descriptive words. I tried to think of something else. Anthony Rossi.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It is becoming a little elusive. Not really elusive. Not sure what.
I don't think elusive is the word you want.
No, I do not want it to be elusive at all. But I've been listening, and it's come up a few times, specifically with you and Aaron.
It has.
Or AA Ron.
AA Ron. Mostly in a joking manner.
Absolutely, but
yes.
That's how we do things in the podcast community.
All right, so another Statesman Series is underway here, and for anyone out there that's not aware, the Statesman Series episodes we're going to be, for this one specifically, talking about Wisconsin and stupid people from Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
So, as I sit across from Anthony wearing a blue t-shirt that says, "Drink Wisconsinably," and it's fantastic. You really did ham it up for this one.
Oh, I've got one more bit of ham to do for you.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, This seems very unprofessional that this was not prepared ahead of time. Grabbing some more stuff out of a freezer. Oh, okay. Nice.
I've had pint glasses chilling in the freezer for this episode.
Nice.
With another Wisconsin brewery, Lakefront Brewery.
Okay, all right. Lakefront Brewery, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, yeah.
I have been there. They have amazing tours. Their tours are like basically comedy routines. They're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic.
Nice. So we have some fun Wisconsin man stories lined up, of course, some tasty Wisconsin beer here that we'll be chugging right along with our stories. But for anyone, like I said, this is the Statesman Series. For anyone out there that's not aware of these episodes, I like to do from time to time to kind of to mix things up for myself and really just drink and talk nonsense with friends. It's a nice mix from hanging out and checking stuff out and checking out other beers from around the country and not just in the 518. And, of course, for each of these episodes, I pick a random guest and mostly a random beer. I like to take a shoot first and ask questions type approach when it comes to selecting beer for these episodes. But you are providing the beer today, friend, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what we're got lined up here.
Speaking of, again, lined up, our schedules are finding lining up for this.
It's true. I prepared these notes a while ago, so I kind of forgot what some of these articles are about.
I reviewed them quickly this morning.
Okay.
So this kind of came about just because, as I have joked many times on my own podcast, that my wife is from Wisconsin. So she's a transplant.
True. And one of the reasons you are here, you're married to a Wisconsinite.
Yeah, that's right. And some friends of ours did some road tripping in the Midwest, and they asked us what breweries should we hit up while we're in the area. And we definitively told them, you need to go to New Glarus. That's what we are sipping on today.
I have to admit, I did not expect a little variety pack. We got four different beers here. I thought it was just the raspberry tart we were going to be having.
Right, so right now we're starting with the raspberry tart. I also have a bottle of the Berliner Apfel.
And a Wisconsin Belgian Red.
Yes.
All from New Glarus, of course.
And New Glarus' little tagline is "Drink Indigenous." And the reason for that is that New Glarus is only sold in Wisconsin. So depending on how the distribution rights all shake out legally, part of their allure is they just didn't fill out the paperwork, I guess. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but it is illegal for it to be sold. It cannot cross state lines.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
But like that's kind of their thing. So you have to go to Wisconsin to get it. So okay. I say it's illegal for it to cross state lines.
You're admitting right now that you broke the law. I'll have to edit this out.
Okay, it cannot be sold outside of Wisconsin. Because I realize, yes, we are sitting in New York, and right now my dog is barking upstairs because she is a Weimaraner and an alarm barker.
I have to say, I was attempting to do some clean living this weekend, and if it wasn't for you, I would have gone beer-free. So thank you for showing me the error of my ways.
Indeed. I'm here for you.
That was a foolish idea I had. All right. However, for this episode, like I said, you're providing the beer. We got a couple different ones here. I was only prepared for the raspberry tart, though, so that's really the only one I kind of looked up.
Okay. Well, also really big ones are the Spotted Cow is a really popular one.
Okay.
And I think Three Ladies or Three Men, something like that, is also very popular. But the the raspberry tart is just, it is very tart.
It is tart. I like this. It's a nice little twist, nice little change of pace. And I did see that it was available year-round for people wondering. And it looks like the brewery's been around since 1993, I believe, according to what I looked up.
Okay.
And we are going a little against the grain with their description, and I asked you about this earlier. But I want to read the description. Treat yourself to a rare delight. The voluminous raspberry bouquet will greet you long before your lips touch the glass. And it does. That's not a lie. You can smell that, and it smells good.
Oh, it does.
Serve this Wisconsin, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, Farm Boys?
What?
Is this a Wisconsin thing?
Framboise?
Framboise?
It looks French.
It does look French.
Framboise.
Very cold in a champagne flute. That's where we were going against the grain here.
So now I got to ask you, where are you finding this description?
Straight from their website.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I find it hard to believe a lot of Wisconsinites are drinking.
I kind of doubt it. I'm going to be a judgmental bastard right now. I checked with my wife, and my sister-in-law is visiting this weekend as well. And I asked them, like, do you drink New Glarus out of a champagne flute? And they kind of gave me the furry eyebrow. Like, no. Whoever's saying that is a beer snob.
Well, it's the brewery.
But it's the brewery itself.
The brewery.
So I'll walk it back.
But I got to say, I like this. It's raspberry. It's tart. And not bad.
It's not an IPA.
It's true. Let's get into some Wisconsin man stories.
All right, let's do it. So, if it sounds like I have something in my mouth, is because in my continued efforts to ham it up and be as Wisconsin as possible.
We do have some nuts here.
We have some nuts and some cheese
curds.
Indeed. You have to have cheese curds with Wisconsin.
We're missing the brats, though.
I am sorry about that.
All right, so we're starting right off with my favorite of the articles and the one I remember the most. Wisconsin man arrested for allegedly having sex with a couch curbside.
Oh boy. This.
You know, when you catch a guy having sex with a couch on a curb, do you really need to use the word allegedly?
Is it innocent until proven guilty? It's kind of one of those,
I've
allegedly made sweet, sweet love.
To this large piece of stuffed fabric.
Was it a couch or a love seat?
It says couch.
Okay. This is important information. If it was a love seat, that's a whole new twist.
That would have been made for a better story. Yeah. Nope, they went with couch and not love seat.
So be it.
So be it. All right, to the article. Safe sex is a practice that is continually pushed on our nation's youth, and for good reason. Avoiding unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases are just two reasons why contraception is encouraged in today's society. Indeed it is.
Yes.
However, the concept of safe sex is widely understood to take place between two consenting humans, and not a human and a piece of furniture.
There's plot twist right there. Ooh, you would assume it would be two humans.
You would.
But not the case.
Often when it's not, there's usually problems to follow.
Very close behind.
Enter Gerald P. Streeter. I love how they worded that. A 46
and enter he did.
Oh, he entered, all right. A 46-year-old man from Wisconsin who reportedly was arrested a few days ago for allegedly having sex with a curbside couch. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of this town right. You tell me if it sounds familiar. The Waukesha patch.
Yeah.
Waukesha. W-A-U Kesha.
Waukesha.
Waukesha. I like the way I said it better.
Okay.
Anyway, the Waukesha patch reports that, according to a criminal complaint, if he's found guilty, Streeter reportedly could be jailed for months and required to pay a fine, but it doesn't say anything about any kind of dry cleaning bill.
Ooh. That is true. Well, so the dry cleaning bill would have to come from the owner of the object because they are intending to get it cleaned.
Indeed. And this is on a curb, although let me wrap this up as we're almost done with the article, and then we'll get into our fun comments.
Okay, all right.
So at 11 p.m. on September 3rd, the off-duty police officer was out for a jog on North University Drive near Pebble Valley Road when he spotted an abandoned yellow couch on the curb. See, now they're alleging it was abandoned and not someone just put it there because they wanted to sit outside.
Well,
that's where they should use allegedly.
Okay, allegedly abandoned.
Yes. Joe Petrie of the Patch wrote, he observed Streeter by the couch and thrust in his hips as if he was having sex with a person. The officer approached Streeter, which I probably would not have done myself,
Well,
to see what was going on, and yelled, "What are you doing?" which caused Streeter to run away. The officer didn't see anyone else on the couch, but the officer realized Streeter was thrust in between the couch cushions for sexual gratification. You know you've done something truly bizarre if you can say you've earned the nickname Curbside Couch Humper.
he did that couch dirty.
He did. I have so many questions. I think it's hilarious they started with safe sex angle and then went to a man having sex with a couch.
Well, you don't know where that couch has been. You don't know you don't know what else has been thrust between the cushions of that couch.
That's a fair point, but they do. You'll notice they started with the safe sex angle, but they never mentioned whether or not he was wearing a condom.
That is true.
I'd be afraid of rug burn.
So many, even inappropriate for this podcast thoughts are flying through my head right now. Because normally on my podcast, I keep it PG-13.
No, we're past that here.
We've gone way past that already.
We're past that already. Pretty much just with the headline. Obviously, I would think unwanted pregnancy is not a problem here.
That is a safe bet. If I was a betting man, which I am not, but even if I was, highly unlikely that a consequence will.
So I think the biggest... I wonder what did it. Was it the color yellow? Does he just have an affinity for furniture?
We do not have a picture of this couch.
No.
Or if it was wearing a slip cover.
It's true. There's zippers on some of those cushion covers. You got to watch out, man. Those things can be sharp.
Yeah, they can. Ow, dude.
Yeah, I know, man. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he got an STD from it. If it's a couch that's just sitting outside.
Yeah, it's just kind of hanging out on the curbside, looking all weather-worn.
You see a couch out there? I got to have that couch. Not in my house. Just in my pants.
That's not the kind of couch you bring home to show mama. That's not the kind of couch you take back to your place. No, you just kind of leave it out there. And the fact that he didn't even say goodbye.
That's a hood rat couch. That's what.
Just no telephone number.
No, that was going to be I get the sense that was a one-night stand type of deal. The bar is closing. Got to find someone.
And yet no nightstand to be found anywhere else on the crime scene.
It did not mention a nightstand. Still have to worry about calls the next day, though.
All right.
Obviously, the guy that ran after him, I wonder if the guy had time to pull up his pants, or if he was even wearing pants.
That's another good question.
Again, that wasn't mentioned. Was he just out, naked from the waist down?
Yeah, doing the whole, comedic waddle down the street with your pants around your ankles? Because you're not getting a good stride. You are not extending, your footwork when you've got the pants around your ankles. You're doing that kind of, shuffle waddle down the street.
It's true.
And I'm assuming this was after dark. So
in middle of the night.
Yeah, so he couldn't have been able to see where his feet were falling.
It's true.
At all.
And I think it's safe to say, if at some point in your life you have people calling you curbside couch humper, you failed.
It's somewhere you went awry.
Things are not going your way.
No.
On to the next article.
Excellent.
As I sip on my raspberry tart here. It's nice. It's almost like juice.
It's dangerous like that.
What was the percentage on this guy?
Let's find out. Is it listed? Or is it Wisconsin F your percentages? No, it's got to have...
Is it on the box somewhere?
Well, the box is a sampling
box.
Yeah.
All right. Wisconsin does not care.
F your ABV.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Of course, with that in mind, maybe we should take it a little slower, but, that's not how we do things here.
It is not. It's not how I roll.
It's not how he took it with the couch either.
No, he did not. That couch just laid back and took it. Maybe it was a fold-out couch. I don't...
Was it a lazy boy?
Probably could have got a whole episode out of this one article, but let's move on.
Okay.
Wisconsin man gets jail time for repeatedly clogging women's toilets. This is my favorite headline. Although, as we go through the article, you'll find out it's mildly misleading, but still funny nonetheless. A Wisconsin man has been sentenced to 150 days in jail for repeatedly clogging women's toilets, including at places he worked.
That's a bad move right there.
It is a bad move.
They can find you.
You don't do that where you work. No.
Because that just annoys everyone.
No.
Like everyone.
You don't shit where you eat. No. Patrick Beeman, 35, pleaded no contest to 5 counts of misdemeanor criminal damage to property.
No contest. Yep, it was me.
I feel like DNA could solve that pretty quick. The state recommended a 30-day sentence for the crime, but Sheboygan Press Media reports that Judge Kent Hoffman gave between 30 days for each count to be served consecutively. That's a lot of days for breaking a toilet.
Well, at least they gave him consecutive.
The Sheboygan man also was ordered to serve 3 years of probation and pay $5,500 in restitution. Prosecutors say Beeman told police he gets urges to do odd things, and this is where I was a little disappointed in the article. Like, look for bottles in the garbage to clog toilets and cause them to overflow. I was hoping he was taking massive bowel movements in all these toilets and really trying to clog it up naturally.
But no.
No, he likes to apparently find crap to try to break toilets.
It's just, it's weird.
Police found a toilet in the women's bathroom at D-Land Community Center clogged by a plastic bottle last March, an incident similar to 10 others beginning in 2017. So
just finding plastic bottles to jack up toilets.
Plus, he apparently likes to rummage around in the garbage.
Again, we got a theme going on of, like, sanitation and hygiene. I mean, that couch could not have been clean.
If you're in a Statesman-type article, there usually is a sanitation issue.
I'm beginning to see this.
Yeah. It's somewhat of a common theme throughout states.
But, that's how you get your name up in lights, I suppose, if it's going to be a statesman-worthy article.
It's true. And as I mentioned,
you got to do something nasty. You got to get nasty with it.
The headline was slightly misleading, but amusing nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was really hoping he was clogging these toilets. But it should be noted, if you're responsible for an entire bathroom closing down in your place of business, I believe you should be flayed.
Yeah, that...
And I'm qualified to say that, because the building I work in, the bathroom's shut down all the freaking time.
And that just creates...
mass hysteria.
Because depending on the office building and the inhabitants therein, if you work with a lot of technical type people, you're drinking a lot of coffee. Coffee has certain effects on the body.
Coffee can do things to you, especially if you add in nicotine.
Indeed. Indeed. I do not smoke, but I have heard this.
Neither do I.
I would say myth, but I'm pretty sure we're well beyond myth. This is fact.
You get that right level of relaxation with a cup of coffee.
Poop life.
Yep. And you don't want to have to run outside to a different building to find a bathroom. I don't get the urge. I've never gotten the urge to flush random things down toilets. You hear about people doing it all the time. Of course, I'm an adult, so I'm sure it's much more appealing as a kid.
So there's like a lot of things where I would consider weird or bizarre, but if I force my mind to regress to an earlier, more rambunctious age, there's a lot of things where it's funny to see people get pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that entertainment value. But I'm well beyond that age, and so is this man, allegedly.
I think he is our age. Mid-30s.
Is he our age? Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. And it just causes problems.
It does.
Like, there's a lot of things that I no longer find entertaining. I would have found entertaining in my, rebellious youth. But I'm just tired now. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, it's funny to see the toilets explode or something. Like, yeah, but now I have to walk somewhere.
Yeah.
Now it's an inconvenience on my part. And I'm selfish.
And usually those pipes go together, so it will eventually lead to the men's room closing down, too.
Yeah, all sanitation pipes, they all kind of come together.
It does.
At some point. They all kind of...
Again, this guy should be flayed.
Yeah.
I think that's what we get from this article.
Indeed.
Moving on.
All right. How you doing beer-wise?
Pouring the rest of my raspberry tart here into the cup as I chug right along.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are we here? Wisconsin man tells deputies aliens made him steal car. I love a good aliens made me do it story.
Aliens are always good for entertainment.
They really are. They're such cheeky bastards.
Never know what they're really up to.
No. It's a mystery. Somewhere out in the universe, they're just scheming of these little ways. It's not about invasion.
No, it's not about invasion. It's taking over the human bodies and making amazing forms of architecture.
That is true. A Wisconsin man was arrested after deputies said he stole a family member's car and drove to Eyoda, Minnesota. So he crossed state lines on this one. So I suspect that doubles his punishment.
Potentially.
Deputy said 44-year-old Jeffrey Palat said he was communicating with aliens and that the aliens made him steal the car. Deputy said Palat stole a Ford Escape near Wazoo. I'm close enough for me.
Okay.
At just before 6 a.m. on a Thursday, deputies said he then drove to Eyoda, Minnesota, and waited outside a friend's house for a few hours before being taken into custody. Deputies said he is expected to be extradited back to Wisconsin on Friday or Saturday. Again, I don't know when these articles actually were written. Mm-hmm. That's not relevant. After Palat was read his Miranda rights, deputies said he allegedly told them he joined the Illuminati in 2006. This is where it gets good.
Yes.
Aliens and Illuminati. This has everything you could want in a conspiracy.
The History Channel is drooling over this story right now.
Indeed. Deputies said the charges Palat is facing include possession of a stolen vehicle and burglary. Nothing about his mental state.
No.
I think the one thing to take away from this, on top of everything, is that the Illuminati have their hands in everything.
So I have been contacted by the Illuminati on a few...
Really?
Yeah. If I can get back to my email and go to my junk mail.
This should not be in the junk folder.
No, it shouldn't. But I think it's in... Yes. Okay. Bam. Now, I am handing my phone over to Chris right now for confirmation.
The Illuminati order. Join the Illuminati order. Awesome.
Yep.
Is there anything more to this?
Yeah, if you... Oh. Yeah. This message seems dangerous. Yes. As we open the email.
But in a good way.
Yeah. Greetings from the Illuminati Order. Join the Illuminati for wealth, fame, and power. Yeah, I am not.
I'm sold.
So, for whatever reason, I've started, like, on a rare occasion getting to my podcast email invitations from the Illuminati.
They must like your stuff.
Totally seems legit, right? Because clearly some idiot on the internet talking about video games.
The Illuminati like video games, man.
Well, big part of the Deus Ex series.
Is that it? Were they? I only played the one game.
Yeah. Later on, they, as you start uncovering all the conspiracies, you start getting into the Illuminati. Yeah, and even the main character, Adam Jensen, is like, seriously, you expect me to believe that the Illuminati is behind this? Secret order, secret, and like they mock it for a little bit, but the guys are like, mock it if you want. Doesn't change the fact that the Illuminati are involved.
Everyone mocks the Illuminati till it's too late.
Well, okay, guess that we're doing it.
I really wish this went into more detail on how he was communicating with the aliens.
Because clearly the aliens are going to be speaking English.
Absolutely. Or at least something that sounds...
close enough.
Like English to this fella.
Or maybe they've got...
wearing like a tinfoil hat?
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. See, the problem
How did that jog a memory for you?
The problem here is he was wearing a tinfoil hat, not a cheese head.
Not a cheesehead.
That is the problem here. If he was wearing the big foam cheesehead hat from the Packers games, he would have been safe. But no, he chose to amplify his signal wearing a tinfoil or aluminum foil hat.
Who are we talking about?
The guy who received messages from the aliens.
This didn't say he was wearing a tinfoil hat.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
All right. They did not mention it. I inferred it. Do not question my insight and intuition.
All right. I'm just going to drink my beer.
Just saying.
So the cheese hat will save you from alien interference.
Indeed. Because it is like the perfect opposite of conductor. Insulator. There it is.
There you go. Is that why people live in Wisconsin, to avoid alien contact?
Yes. Can't confirm.
They're not cheering on the Green Bay Packers?
No. They have such a wealth of intellectual knowledge at the Packers stadium that they all have to wear those giant cheese heads, and that is what protects them from alien abduction.
Interesting. I also want to know how you joined the Illuminati. Obviously, you got an email. I've never gotten an email. I didn't know they did email.
Neither did I. But apparently...
Not that I want to join necessarily. It's just more of a curiosity thing.
Yeah, right? It's like, I've heard of this order.
Especially now that I've heard about wealth and fame. And
I could go for some wealth and fame.
It all sounds good to me. How could that not be legit?
I remember years ago when I started getting involved in some more like professional society things, I would read on the internet every once in a while about the stereotypical Nigerian prince wants to route money to you email scam. I'm like, that never happens. And then I started joining some like professional societies and started networking a little bit more. And son of a bitch, I started getting emails, not necessarily from Nigeria, but from other countries. Like, we just need to confirm this routing number. Please send us your bank information. And I remember looking at the email thinking, yo, I'm a broke college student, and I got student loans coming down on me.
The joke's on them.
Well, that too.
They messed with the wrong guy.
Surprise, bitches, negative account.
My debt's now yours.
Yeah, right?
Wouldn't that be a fun way if that's how it worked to get back at him?
Oh, that'd be hysterical. We're taking over your finances.
Go
Sweet.
for it. I'll just... Thanks for doing me a favor. If I was the cop arresting this guy and he's telling me that kind of story, I don't know if I could keep a straight face. I don't know how cops manage to keep straight faces in situations like that.
It's got to be just complete compartmentalization inside the brain. It's just got to, I'm going to process this, but somewhere inside your brain, you're just denying acknowledgement.
I assume they drink later and laugh about it with all the other cops.
I would not shame them if they did. At all. I would be there like, yo, tell me another story as some crazy fucker who...
So I need to, if there's any cops out there listening, I'd love to have some beers with you and hear some of your great stories. I would.
Keep it at a high level, of course. Keep it at a high level.
Absolutely.
Just say this one individual.
Absolutely. It's all about privacy here.
Yeah, use the gender-neutral pronouns. The individual.
Cop speak.
Yeah. How you doing over there?
I'm almost ready for the second beer. Actually, we can crack this guy open. I'm not going to reuse the glass because it's going to taste like raspberry tart.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Want me to rinse it out?
Okay, yeah. We'll take a little break, and we will come back with more beers and more articles. We are back. What are we drinking now? Which one did we go with?
Which one did I grab? We have the Wisconsin Belgian Red.
Wisconsin Belgian Red. Again, from New Glarus, from our little variety pack.
That's right.
I enjoyed the raspberry tart.
Super sweet.
It is super sweet and tart. One is definitely enough.
Yes. That is sometimes the unfortunate thing with tasty, delicious beers is that they hit the flavor like really hard to get those flavors to come out.
Yep, with the tarts and sours especially.
Yeah.
I enjoy a good tart or sour, but I max out at like one.
That's it. You're not sitting back and like, it's not a session beer. It's not a day drinking. It's just kind of like hanging out with the friends all day type
Speaking of day drinking, that is what we're doing.
Yeah, it is currently just 12:48 according to my phone.
Yeah.
But you know, it's Sunday, so brunch.
I should do a brunch episode. Although we do have nuts and cheese curds.
That's right. Hey man, I was gonna make sure it was like as Wisconsin as I could make it.
Nice. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, that's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, dude. So just for those keeping track at home, we are 2 for 2 for Chris really enjoying these beers.
It has a little sourness to it.
Yep. Yeah, dude. He's got a smile on his face. Yeah.
Definitely not what I expected. I recommend.
Yes, indeed.
I just want to sit here and sip on this now. But we have articles to get to.
That's right. We have shenanigans.
Shenanigans. The dogs are set. We are back.
Oh, jeez. Yes, so if you hear any hiccups in this episode, I blame it on the dog.
It's true. And possibly my laziness to put in an interlude.
Well, you know, there's that too. But so I love my dog. She is so loving. She is so ridiculously loving. But man, she barks at everything. So,
all right.
Moving on.
Back to stupid Wisconsin people. And not everybody, just the people in these particular articles.
Indeed.
I don't want to generalize.
My wife is very smart, usually.
Indeed. Drunk Wisconsin man arrested in brawl over How I Met Your Mother.
This
is...
Got to set my beard down for this one. Crack the knuckles. All right, let's do this.
This was a last-minute entry, from what I remember. A Wisconsin man faces charges for a drunken, bloody fistfight while arguing over the sitcom How I Met Your Mother, officials said.
Yes.
Authorities said Alan Hushka, 33, and a pal drank at a Green Bay Packers game. Hey. And we were talking about the Cheeseheads. Oh, they're trying to avoid alien contact.
That's it. Go Packers, fuck the Bears. Love you, Charlie Barons.
So they were drinking at a Green Bay Packers game on a Sunday afternoon before driving to a Janesville bar, the news station reported. After returning to the car, the pair got into an argument over the CBS series How I Met Your Mother and began pummeling each other, the outlet reported.
Great use of the word pummel.
It is. You don't see pummel used that much when referring to a fight. Hushka stopped the vehicle, which means it started, they got in the car, and then stopped again to continue. But the duo continued the fight on the side of the road where his friends socked him several times, authorities said. This is a really well-written article.
The author had fun with this.
Yes. Upon responding to the scene, a deputy encountered a blood-soaked Hushka who appeared extremely intoxicated, officials said. No. Could you imagine being sober and getting in a fight over How I Met Your Mother?
I did enjoy the show, but no, not to that extent.
With one eye swollen nearly shut, Hushka had trouble to keep his balance and struggled to answer the cops' questions, the report said.
This is another one where it's like they must have been laughing over beers afterwards. Like, dude, you would not believe
Either that or they're still not friends.
No, I meant the cops.
Oh, yes.
The cops, yeah.
When asked whether the dispute was sparked by the sitcom, Hushka laughed and replied, "Yes, we love the show," according to the report. Hushka, who admitted to driving the car, which is not good,
yeah,
was arrested Monday for operating the vehicle while intoxicated, the outlet reported. He was also hit with bail jumping charges for allegedly violating the terms of his release in 2 misdemeanor cases.
So you've been here before, is what you're saying.
Again, you get in a fight outside of the car, get in the car, presumably to go home, and then the fight escalates so much in the car you need to pull over and fist fight your friend on the side of the road. That's fantastic.
So it sounds like they were arguing about How I Met Your Mother at the Packers game.
Seems like where it started.
Continued on. Someone said some shit, and I had to backhand that bitch.
It doesn't specifically say what part of the show triggered the argument.
And, like, motherfucker, I'm going to pull over and continue to beat your ass. That's how it went down. Wow.
I've seen a few episodes of the show, but I was never a huge fan.
I mean, it is a genuinely funny show. It is was a genuinely funny show. Very entertaining, very well written, I felt.
Can you imagine this being the reason you get picked up on other charges you skipped out on, though?
So this would be a prime example. I'm pantomiming to my phone right now because that's how audio-only entertainment works. This is a prime example of how what gets reported on or what the story is just the end of a very long series of events. Like, this is not his first time getting in trouble with police. I am quite certain if it was part of his bail or part of his, was it bail or skimming down through the article? Probation, that's the word I was looking for.
Pretty sure he was on probation.
Okay, if this is part of your probation, if this somehow violates any part of your probation, I'm willing to bet that it had to do with alcohol consumption.
Oh, yeah.
So...
the cause and solution to all of life's little problems.
Indeed. So clearly he's gotten to this situation before where he got into a drunken brawl over something trivial.
It's probably fairly safe to assume that.
Yeah, this, like, is one of those stories where, yes, the end result is epically ridiculous and laughable, but this is the end result of many other events and happenings. I mean, is there any show that you would come to fisticuffs over?
I was going to ask you that.
Damn it.
I don't know. I thought about this a while, and well, there's shows that I love that obviously not everyone loves. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to lie, I thought Game of Thrones was fine. The final season was fine. Clearly people hated it. But
yeah,
the
final season was hot trash. But
some people take their dragon porn way too seriously.
Or not seriously enough in your case.
Oh.
You know, I was a huge fan.
I don't think there's anything I'd get in a fight over. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to be loaded to consider it.
It would have to cross a line from talking about just the show or entertainment choice, like, as itself, and then start taking like personal jabs of people who like this show also, are pedophiles or some bullshit like that.
That could go hand in hand.
It's like it has to start getting personal type of thing. Like we've crossed over from the show.
You start from criticizing the show and escalate it into something personal. Yeah. That's a different matter.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's when I pull the car over and lay the smack down.
But of course, that's coming from a man who is allegedly sane.
Good use of the word allegedly.
Yeah, indeed. I was a huge fan of the anime Full Metal Alchemist, and I will defend that show like till the day I die. So, but again, coming to actually fight someone who didn't like the show, that's out there, brother.
That's a new level of love that I've never experienced.
Apologies to our significant others. Careful, don't spill beer on your recorder.
But it said they both loved the show.
It's the passion.
It's the passion.
I love it so intensely.
I hope the creators read that article.
Yes.
I'd love to know what they would think.
Someone must have, tagged them in it.
I would think so.
When this came up on Twitter or some other blog or whatever, someone must have been, retweet it, tag either CBS or the show's Twitter feed, use the hashtag a couple of times, type of yo, have you ever been so whatever about a show like these guys with How I Met Your Mother? We need to get NPH on the case.
Indeed. Who? What?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, yeah.
God. You're so unhip.
I really live in a bubble.
A beer bubble?
A beer bubble.
I'll go for that.
Okay. Naked Wisconsin man arrested. As you almost spit out your beer. Naked Wisconsin man arrested says he was on, and this is not me repeating the same thing over and over again. This is literally how many times the headline says this. Naked Wisconsin man arrested says he was on tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of acid.
Five tons.
5 tons of acid.
That's a lot of acid.
Can't believe he's alive.
No, alcohol is the only controlled substance I consume, and I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah,
just limiting it right there. Alcohol, booze. I can control it. We good.
A lacrosse man is in trouble with the law after he was arrested for running around a parking lot naked and telling officers he was on tons and tons of acid.
I'm so wasted.
Indeed. The Lacrosse Tribune reports that police received a complaint during the early morning hours of June 29th of a man running around naked and yelling incoherently. Shocker, you couldn't understand what he was saying. Police found the 29-year-old man in a parking lot in the city's north side, asked why he was running around naked. The man said, this is the best part of the article, "Oh, that's what all the drugs are for." And what's wrong with being a heroin addict?
Hating on me.
Police asked him what he'd taken, and he responded, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of acid. Not heroin, even though he says he's a heroin addict.
I got a feeling once you hit tons and tons and tons and tons and tons, is that 5, of acid isn't the only thing you're taking.
Possibly not. Officers arrested him, of course, for lewd and lascivious behavior and disorderly conduct. Is that how you would say that?
I would say lavacious.
Lavacious. Okay. Anyway, I think first and...
We're language nerds.
Whatever.
We get paid to talk. Oh, wait, no, we don't.
I don't give a shit. Just drink my beer. I think first and foremost, there's probably a number of things that are wrong with being a heroin addict. Of course, I'm no expert on the subject.
Yeah, try to avoid that as best I can.
Again, I really just stick with alcohol as my stimulant and some caffeine from coffee.
That's a good pair right there. I do enjoy putting the alcohol inside my coffee. I haven't done that in a while.
I don't do that as often as I should.
Well, I don't do that anymore because of the 2 kiddos who are gonna wake up at the ass crack of dawn no matter what, and the dogs who yo, if I need to poo, you need to open the back door for me. I mean, needing to poo and just opening the bathroom door yourself, you do that, go back to bed, all that other good stuff. But if you need to find someone to unlock the door for you, that you're going to get pretty insistent on the person who controls that key.
Indeed.
And both of my dogs are 60 pounds apiece.
They're big dogs.
Yeah. they're large. And Kinsey is just the pity mix. She'd be all muscles. And you noticed that when you walked in the door today.
She could take you down easy.
Yeah, she will too. So she's not going to be, well, she'll start off gently. But if she needs to get insistent, she'll push you over.
And tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of acid don't help that situation.
No. I was going to say having a hangover during that situation is not a pleasant experience.
That's not ideal either.
No, I am going to do all I can to avoid any type of situation like that. But that much, part of me feels bad for mocking this individual because clearly we've got issues.
I don't feel bad. He put himself here.
I hope he finds the help that he needs. I truly do, because he's clearly, unless it's one of these like independently wealthy people who just love to get wasted because fuck it, I got cash, that I have limited sympathy for.
Indeed.
But, this dude's got some issues going on. There's way more behind the story going on.
Speaking of issues, my glass is empty.
Ooh. One moment, please.
So, on to the last beer that we have split up here. Which guy is this? Oh, you're going to make me try to say it.
It's your podcast, bitch. You do the work.
You brought the beer.
I'm just here to just drink beer and be charming.
Berliner Apfel, A-P-F-E-L. Okay, not sure what it is, but let's give it a go.
It's definitely got a light color.
It does.
But, looks like we have a little bit of hue in it. So it might be a bit on the unfiltered side.
Definitely got a little tropical citrus in it. Cider. Little cidery. I like it.
Still pleasant.
Good. Again, no idea what percentage these are. Wisconsin just is apparently flipping us off on that aspect.
Yeah. You're going to drink, bitch.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going. I bet that's their rule. That should be the tagline. Don't worry about the percentage. Just keep drinking.
Berliner Apfel. So I'm looking it up right now. New Glarus Brewing.
The magic of the internet.
A few times a year, we cut Dan loose to brew whatever he chooses, always handcrafted. The bottle you hold is brewed for the adventurous soul. This is a very limited edition. Ooh, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Very limited edition, and we make no promises to ever brew this style again. Inspired by Berliner fairies. Getting a little mystical here.
Okay.
Dan sourced Wisconsin... So, it's been a long time since I've drank. Where was I?
We're only really having 2 beers apiece, but when you chug them in 45 minutes.
Yes. Dan sourced Wisconsin fresh apples from the Kickapoo Valley. He crushed the...
Kickapoo?
Kickapoo.
I don't recommend kicking poo.
I would rather not. Just kicking the shit, Yeah. He crushed the 2018 harvest and nurtured a spontaneous fermentation for 1 year to create this enchanted Berliner Apfel. Sparkling bubbles prance with effervescent notes of green apple and pear. This is a delicate creation to delight the senses. A brewer's alchemy of barley and apples magically creates the palest golden beer imaginable to sparkle as sunlight dances.
Ooh. You had a nice little variety today.
And I am available for voiceovers.
He is. All right, on to our last article as we finish off these guys. Mm-hmm. Wisconsin man charged with tying himself up, faking his own kidnapping.
Is there any instance
mystery, intrigue,
faking your own kidnap has ever worked?
I feel like we don't hear about those. Otherwise, it would really give it away.
Like it is always these type of schemes gone wrong, because typically the people who are trying to pull this scheme have massive amounts of debt. They can't think of any other way to obtain money legally, so they get this crazy crack brain idea like, hey, how about I fake my own kidnapping? And they just don't have the organizational skills to pull it off.
This one's not really money related, but it is kind of more humorous.
Okay.
Wisconsin man has been charged with faking his own kidnapping after telling his wife he was tied up and being held against his will. On September 4th, Daryl Mall was found by police zip-tied to a chair at his job in Montello. Yep, Montello.
Okay.
Mall, 45, claimed he had been knocked unconscious, and when he awoke, he was tied to the chair with his assailant telling him to contact his wife. He texted his wife about his predicament and over a number of messages passed on a list of demands allegedly from his kidnappers. Maul's wife called the sheriff's office.
Lots of allegedly in this show, in this episode.
This is, well, at least it seems more relevant to this article. You're not literally having a man telling you, I saw you fucking a couch. There's no allegedly there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say definitively because we haven't had trial yet, but you were fucking a couch.
Yeah. Maul's wife called the sheriff's office, who reviewed the messages and headed to his workplace to investigate, according to Channel 3000. When officers arrived, they could hear a man yelling for help. Entering the property through an open door, they discovered Maul bound to a chair and released him. Authorities took his statement in which he claimed that his attacker had told him if he did not call his wife, he would be killed. Because if you're an attacker, that's what you want your victim to do. Go ahead and call people and let them know you're in this situation.
Well, that's how you get the money.
Police investigating the scene said they could not find any evidence to support Maul's story. In a follow-up interview, authorities claim he admitted the entire story was a hoax. And this is where it gets fun. Maul had devised the kidnapping ruse to gain sympathy.
Sympathy?
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm having your problem now. Maul had devised the kidnapping to... God damn it. Let's try this a third time.
And...
Maul had devised the kidnapping ruse to gain sympathy from his wife, WKOW reports. According to law enforcement, the pair's relationship was on the rocks, and Maul thought that the scheme would bring them closer together.
Ooh.
He was charged with obstructing an officer and unlawful use of a telephone. What? And booked into Columbia County Jail.
Okay, so I missed that part the first time I read this article. Unlawful use of a telephone?
If I had to guess, I feel like that was like a prank call to 911 or something.
Yeah, because I'm like, if it's his personal cell phone calling his wife. Interesting.
I don't know.
Moving on.
I find it hard to believe this guy has ever had marriage issues. if he's planning romantic gestures like this one.
Yeah, if this is how you garner favor with your wife, by putting yourself in life-threatening situations.
If you're the wife, after you get over your anger, are you impressed by the effort?
I'll let you know in a couple weeks.
We'll do a follow-up. I don't think the jail will let me bring in my recording.
No, I'm pretty sure Stephanie would not come closer to me if I faked my own kidnapping.
It's the gesture that counts.
But honey, I did it for you. Oh boy.
If this is the idea he settled on to try to gain sympathy from his wife for whatever was going on, what do you think the rejected ideas were?
Yeah, if this
what pops into his head and he thinks, nah, that's a terrible idea. I'm going to go with the fake kidnapping.
Dinner and roses, so cliche. I mean, they are, but, dude. Yeah, what was the list of rejected ideas?
Seeking marriage, well, I guess no one wants to sit through marriage counseling, but...
Because God forbid you give that a try. Someone who's actually trained in moderation and...
Or, telling your significant other how you actually feel.
God forbid you have communication. Wrong kind of communication.
Tell her you love her like you love How I Met Your Mother, and you'll be no problems.
Do it. There's no way it can go wrong. I love you so much that if someone disagrees with me, I'd pull over on the side of the highway and beat their ass.
I might even love you more than How I Met Your Mother.
Then be fighting words.
All right, those are all the articles I had. So unless you have any more fun Wisconsin tidbits to throw in.
Not necessarily.
How's Steve Avery doing?
Steve's doing fantastic.
As I like to ask you when you tell me you're going to Wisconsin.
I am thankful of my wife in very odd ways. As in, if I was not in a relationship with her, I would never have been able to journey to the fine, fair dairylands of the Midwest.
And befriend Steve Avery.
Yes. Like, I would totally retire to Wisconsin. It is basically America's tailgate party. I mean, it is the land of beer, cheese curds, bratwurst, and football.
It'd be a short retirement.
You know what? That's kind of the best way to do it, right?
If you're going to go out.
It's just, farmlands all over the place. I'm not exactly a country boy, like, at all. But it is very peaceful.
I just want to go and drink and eat.
That's basically...
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Albany. Love the city of Albany. We have so much good food around here. Amazing breweries all over the place. There is plenty to do. Like, even prior to your episode with Nippertown, I would tell people all the time, like, there's stuff happening in the city all the time. We don't have as much as Manhattan, or we don't have as much as, like, LA. But where those major cities will have, like, a slew of venues who are doing certain types of events, Albany will have, like, one or two.
Yep.
But it's there. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. So I love Albany. But, man, something about, like, you just let yourself go. No one cares with the Midwest. And like, what? There's no shortage of, like, copious amounts of brat and sausage.
Oh, man. That sounds delightful.
You know? And, like, we're going to grill this weekend. I don't know, brats and beer.
I'm having chest pains just thinking about it.
They have the greatest fast food chain in the Midwest.
Which one?
It's called Culver's.
Okay, yep.
And you can, no lie, order their value meal, the basket meal, of a double bacon butter burger with a side of fried cheese curds.
Jesus.
Praise unto thee.
I then go sit on I might as well sit on the toilet while I eat that, or at least in the bathroom, because it's coming back out one way or another.
And they call it a butter burger because they put extra butter on the buns after they toast them, and they fold additional butter into the ground beef.
Wow.
Oh, so glorious. Your inner fat kid is just doing
man.
a belly dance right now.
I think I just had a little heart attack.
So, you coming with next time I head out?
Sure. I won't make it back.
That's okay. That's fine.
Okay. It'll have to be during the summer.
One other little bit. So we used to drive out there because it's much cheaper than flying, and it just makes things easier once we get there. But it's a long drive. But if you happen to drive into Wisconsin on I-90 coming from the east, so traveling west, you will pass the Mars Cheese Castle.
The Mars Cheese Castle.
Yes, and I'm going to bring it up on my phone. So I'm going to show you first some images on the Googles.
Maybe I have seen. Oh, I like it.
It's a big-ass castle. And now I'm going to go to...
It's nothing like a visual presence in a podcast.
Well... Yeah, so it's a castle. It is a giant castle, and you need to work on your descriptive skills, young sir. And I'm going to see if
I don't give a shit. You're the one pulling it up. You describe it.
All right. I want the view. I can't get it. Not going to be able to do it from here. I was trying to get a view from the highway, but if I do, so I'm on the highway right now. Oh, I'm on 94. Excuse me. I'm tapping my way through Google Maps Street View.
I'm sipping my beer.
All right, and I'm not getting a proper picture of it.
All right,
but you can see this from the highway, and it is just massive.
Nice.
It's just giant castle, and it's like just in celebration of cheese, and it's like as soon as you come over the border, oh, it's so good.
All right.
So yeah, that's about all I got. I am thoroughly happy that you enjoyed the selection of beers.
This is good. Yeah, a nice little variety. Again, I came only expecting the raspberry tart, so I'm pleasantly surprised that there was a little smattering here, if you will.
Oh, yeah. And once again, you can only get these beers within the state of Wisconsin.
The New Glarus Brewing Company.
Indeed.
Where in Wisconsin are they located again?
Oh, they're in New Glarus.
That's right. The New Glarus is actual town.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't just being a snarky asshole. That is the name of the town. That is
son of a bitch. How dare you talk back to me on my podcast? That's the perfect place to end it.
Yeah, all right.
And you can forget about promoting yours.
Aw. It's all right. It's all right.
So that's going to do it for this episode of Stories from a Bar. Big thank you, Anthony, for hanging out.
Thank you.
Sharing some stories about Wisconsin and providing the beer.
This is a great opportunity just to do some day drinking. I'm
it
glad
is.
I was able to finally get these.
It's nice to have a reason to day drink. Not that you need one.
But when you have a reason,
it's all the better.
It makes it much more enjoyable.
As I mentioned before, I'll be joined by different guests for these episodes. So anyone out there interested in not necessarily even day drinking, doesn't have to be day drinking, really anytime drinking, and talking about ridiculous stories from ridiculous places, just shoot me a message and let me know.
All right.
Big thank you, everyone out there, for checking out Stories from a Bar. You can find the show on, of course, Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram, all at Stories FAB. Anthony, where can people find Video Game Crosstalk?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chris.
I'll allow it.
So, Video Game Crosstalk is a monthly podcast of gamers talking tech science or whatever else comes to mind. You can find all the social links on the website, videogamecrosstalk.com, or you just look up Video Game Crosstalk on Facebook. On Twitter, it is at VGXTPod. And, of course, you can find the podcast on all podcast services. Once you get it listed on a handful, I think all the other third-party ones just kind of like piggyback off the API. So,
which makes it easy for us.
It makes it very
and it's great. Easier. So, speaking of that, of course, you can find both shows on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbeam, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yes.
And be sure to subscribe, and even more importantly, leave fantastic reviews. We both appreciate it, and certainly spread the word.
Leaving reviews and likes helps our metrics and allows other people to find our content as well. So please like and subscribe.
And who the hell would not want to find this content today?
Treasure right
Especially
here.
people that love How I Met Your Mother and like to fuck couches. It's quite the combination.
With that,
it's a very small, particular audience.
It's one hell of a cross section right
there.
All right.
Cheers, friend.
Cheers.